Hello everyone, Muckluck Douglas Bartholomew Reginald Esquire the Fourth here with a quick guide on whether or not the candy corn gobbler that was just brought back to the store thanks to the Halloween holiday is worth it. And we can immediately tell from looking here it is 300 gems. That 300 gems will get you the candy corn gobbler as well as 15 candy corn. 15 candy corn is honestly barely worth mentioning, but it's just enough to be able to try it out a couple times if you had none. I am going to go ahead and grab this now and remove it from my mailbox. All right, so I've got the candy corn gobbler pack here. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And we get the 15 candy corn you can see down in the corner, as well as the gobbler. Now, currently in my inventory, I've got the Taffy gobbler and the Snowflake gobbler, which I've already done reviews on in the past. Now, the reason I'm holding these is we have already established in the past that these do not stack anymore. Or I should say they never did. When the Snowflake Gobbler was the only one that existed, it stacked with the candy corn. And then Taffy came out, they changed the buff the Snowflake gave you so that these two gave the same buff. So they will stack in duration, but not in effect. Now, just to confirm before I touch anything with the candy corn gobbler, let's confirm if that's still the case. I'm gonna double click the Taffy. And I got the Festival Gobbler boost. It has 15 minutes remaining. Opening the Snowflake Gobbler now, going to buy one. And I actually got lucky there because sometimes it'll give you a Christmas present instead of this, but it did in fact give me another 15 minutes added to the Festival Gobbler boost. So these two still stack in duration, not intensity or effect, which means it's better just to simply use whichever one is cheaper. And if you already owned one of these, my opinion on should you buy two has not changed. I do not think you should buy both of these. Now the candy corn gobbler. Let's open this up. Oh, you'll notice it does not have a merchant window. I double clicked it and it instantly gave me an experience booster for 7 minutes. 50% more XP in all game types and 50% more reward track gain. Now that's only 7 minutes. The other boost was 15, but the other one took 25 Taffy or 5 snowflakes. This took 3 candy corn. All right, I got turned into a, what am I? I'm a candy corn golem. Okay, so it's a costume sometimes. Again, item booster, 50% more magic find, a chance of critical crafting XP gain, extra gathering. It's an item booster. Awesome. Again, oh, we added 7 minutes to XP. You cannot use this item right now. Let's access my bank and see if we've got candy corn in the bank. I do. So I have a hunch now. Hold on. Okay, so the candy corn has to be in your bag to use this item. Good to know. These two items use a merchant type window, which means the currency, the snowflakes in this case, can be in the bank. You don't have to be carrying them. But the candy corn gobbler, apparently the candy corns have to be in your bag. Wow, we are Godzilla of candy corns. That's actually kind of sweet. And now we're a mummy. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of... Interesting. It stacked the duration, but changed the costume. Oh, no, never mind. So the costume effect appears to be 15 minutes. Plastic spider. Okay, so if you're only trying to use this for the boosters, it appears that there's definitely a lot of clicks where you spend 3 candy corn and you get something you do not care about, which, you know, being the costumes, if you're like me. But if we just keep double clicking it... I really wish you could macro this. That's unfortunate. We got like 7 costumes in a row. Okay, we got a healthful rejuvenation booster. We got a 15% movement speed booster. I didn't notice it for a while there because I was thinking it was my leader of the pact, but this is a movement speed booster. We got a 5% damage reduction booster. Another great thing to note here is the XP item booster and healthful, the XP and item boosters do not say that they are removed under any effects. However, the speed boost, healthful rejuve, and the damage reduction are removed if you go into competitive PvP, that is 5v5, or a raid. So that means the XP booster and the item booster, those can be used everywhere. And the other boosters, it appears that they might be usable in World v World. Let's test that right now. Oh, interesting. So despite what the tooltip says, I've zoned into World v World, and I did lose all the boosts except the experience booster and the item booster. Now, it is important to note, I still have the Festival Gobbler boost from the Snowflake / Taffy gobblers as well. So right now, this is what's really important to me. 25% more reward track gain in PvP and World v World from this. 50% more reward track gain in PvP and World v World from this. So we're getting a total, of 75% additional reward track rewards in World v World or PvP. Almost double standard through use of candy corns and snowflakes or candy corns and Zytaffy, if you've picked those up as well. And that is the reason that I personally had my eye on this item. I've been double-clicking this thing for a while. I fast-forwarded through most of it, but let's go over to the wiki page to see anything that I've missed so far. Now, the Candy Corn Gobbler can only be used every 5 seconds. I could tell there was definitely a cooldown when I was spam-clicking it. There was a few second interval, apparently a 5-second interval between each use. Cannot be used in combat, mounted, underwater, or otherwise transformed except for its own transformations. Cannot be used in instances in PvP, so it seems Fractals and Conquest PvP are out. But you know what? Let's find out for sure. Science! Alright, I am currently standing inside of Fractal scale level 100. Going to open up my inventory, and it does work. So, interesting. We have just tested, and we have seen firsthand, it does work in Fractals. So despite the fact that it says cannot be used in instances in PvP, that apparently does not include Fractals. I would assume that means raid instances. But that may be just a case of the people who run the wiki consider raids to be instances and Fractals to be something else. In any case, we have found out firsthand it does work in Fractals. As we saw before, the candy corn has to be in your bag. Upon using this item, the player gets a random transformation. Each successful use extends the boost duration by 7 or 10 minutes if an XP or item boost, or 15 minutes if it's any of the other boosts, which I would call the more minor boosts. Has a small chance of granting more than one bonus per use. I definitely did not see this myself, but apparently that's a thing. That's awesome. After an update in 2018, the strength, armor, rejuve, and speed boosters no longer work in World v World. As we saw, we zoned into World v World ourselves. We did see that all of those more minor boosts were stripped from us, but the ones that I would call the most important were still there. Something else to note here, here's a list of the potential boosts. I saw all of these firsthand, except the Karma one. I did not happen to get that myself. Let me do a quick speed montage here and see if the Karma one is still in the list of possibilities. Okay, finally. Alright, I had to feed almost 400 candy corn into the Candy Corn Gobbler before I got a Karma bonus, but I did finally get one. In that amount of time, I stacked up the experience booster 7 minutes at a time, all the way up to 4 hours. We stacked up the item booster 7 minutes at a time, all the way up to 2 hours. And the other boosts, remember, they were stripped off of me when I stepped into World v World. So I reapplied and stacked 5% damage reduction up to an hour, and health for rejuvenation up to 33 minutes. Now, well, it was probably at 45 and then ticked back down, because all the other boosts, aside from item and XP, it gives you 15 minutes at a time instead of 7. So the Karma one, and the speed bonus, I've only gotten one time since coming back out of that World v World. So that's like in the last 300 or so candy corn, I've only gotten it once. So I would presume the Karma, the speed bonus, the health for rejuvenation, and the damage reduction are a lower proc rate, but RNG is RNG. However, the fact remains that we have confirmed firsthand that all of these boosts are still available with the current iteration of the Candy Corn Gobbler. Now, some of you might be asking, Muck, why were you even concerned that the information on the wiki was not correct? The reason was that when the Zytaffy Gobbler was introduced, they changed the Snowflake Gobbler. So I was a little worried that they would have changed this year. However, that does not seem to be the case. So the Candy Corn Gobbler, it uses candy corns that you can obtain year-round. For those of you that don't know, people with home instances, you can mine them from the candy corn node in your home instance year-round, so they are constantly coming into the player economy, and you can buy them off the trading post. They're probably at a different price than standard right now because of the holiday event going on, because this stuff is basically Halloween money right now, but the price does settle back down after Halloween. But you can essentially mine them in your home, or buy them from other players, feed them to the Gobbler, and get boosts. get experience boost, get item boost, get karma boost, speed boost, damage reduction boost, and health rejuvenation boost. And again, the one that was the biggest deal for me is this 50% more reward track gain from PvP and World v World, and 50% more experience, which stacks with the Festival Gobbler boost, which is from the Snowflake or Zytaffy Gobblers. So for me, for only 300 gems, I'm going to say this is absolutely worth it. It is kind of high maintenance. It has a 5-second cooldown, and you got to spam click it 1,000 times to get this stuff stacked up. But you're willing to do that for a few minutes at the early in your gaming sessions. You can get a lot more out of your gaming sessions for a pretty low in-game price, and I am referring to, of course, the cost of the candy corns. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan. I am definitely a fan. I am going to be using this going forward. And you know what? One final thing. Let's see if that karma bonus stays on us when we go into World v World. You can earn karma from events in World v World. Not a massive amount, but it is absolutely possible. Let's see if the karma booster is one of the boosters that entering World v World strips off of you. And it is not. You do get to keep it. Fantastic. Another thing I'm curious of is, since you cannot get the speed, damage reduction, and health for rejuvenation boosts while you're in World v World, are they on the drop table while you're in here? If I use this booster while I'm in here, is there even a chance of it trying to apply something and then it can't, so you get nothing? So I began to test that myself, and then I noticed that the wiki might have the answer for this question for me. Now that we are reasonably sure that nothing on the wiki is out of date because they didn't make any changes to it this year like they did the other Gobblers, there is candy corn drop rate research for PvE here, which of course includes the speed bonus, the 5% protection, the health for rejuvenation, etc., etc. And there is another table for World v World. So it looks like if you're going to be going in and out of World v World or in and out of content where those other buffs would be stripped from you, it might be better to use the Gobbler to buff up during your preparation time in World v World or one of those instances, so that you don't waste candy corn applying boosts that are just going to get stripped off of you as you go about your game. Good to know. So to recap, they did not change it. It still stacks with the other Gobblers. They simply do not stack with each other. You can get a total of 75% more reward track gain, which is the biggest thing in my book, as well as more karma, more XP from all sources, and much more, just using your in-game coins through the use of buying candy corns and feeding it to the Gobbler. I'm definitely happy I got this. 300 gems. Pretty good deal for this. And yeah, I would say it was worth it, but you might not agree with me. If it's not worth it to you, hopefully at least now you can make an informed decision. That's all I got on this item. If you've got any other tips or tricks you would like to share regarding this subject, please leave them in the comments below, and happy trick-or-treating.